Hey, this is Mark Strand with Midwest Outdoors. We're out on a little lake near the Minneapolis-St. Paul metro area. This is a beautiful little lake. It's a difficult lake to fish, deep, clear water, not very much shallow water, but we have an interesting theory that we want to try out and see if we can catch some fish. This should be fun. And we have a bite, ladies and gentlemen. Now I'm tightening the drag a little bit so I can battle this fish. I'll shut the motor off too. He's out there a ways. I had sped up because there's a no wake restriction on this lake until noon. And I wanted to go down to the other end of the lake, but I decided to fish all the way down the entire shoreline. Yeah, it's not too big, but it's a fish. As soon as the wire man touches the line, it's considered a catch. Okay, that's a catch. Got the line wrapped. Handy dandy little hook out. Unhook them. Check the length. 22. That's exactly the size I like to eat. So unfortunately for this particular fish, he's gonna be either fried or blackened. I haven't decided yet. He's got me down in the weeds a little bit, but at least we got another bite. And we were just noticing that on the surface there was a lot of life there, like plankton or something. And when you see that, it's oftentimes an indication that there's just a lot going on right in that general area. And sure enough, we got a bite kind of when we were coming to the tail end of it. Unhook him. Perch colored bait that time. There are a lot of perch in this lake. And that fish is right at 22. I'm gonna put this one in the box also. So we won't starve, we're gonna eat tonight. So what I want to talk about right now is how you can look at a contour lake map and have a really good idea of the types of presentations that are most likely to be effective on that body of water. When you have a lake that has a lot of relatively straight contours where it drops off, but there's not a lot of irregular changes to the shoreline, that lake is likely to be a very good trolling lake. It has something to do also with the fact that you can easily troll and keep your bait in a specific depth without constantly having to turn and try to follow the contours. Whereas a lake with a lot of complicated, complex structures, a lot of twists and turns in it, tends to be a lake that you're better off doing a lot of vertical presentations, vertical jigging, a lot of casting, where it's more short range presentations. So I decided to work along the edge of this deep weed line here with some deep running crankbaits because we caught one fish along this particular run. And so I just started and already picked up one fish. What I'm doing here is now, instead of trolling, I'm in an area where I know there's good weed growth and I saw a number of fish holding in here. So now I'm just kind of narrowly attacking a smaller area. What I like to do is put on my hand a fillet glove. So this is a glove for filleting fish because it gives me a firm grip on the fish and I don't need to squeeze super hard on it, which I think is really important so that you can be easier on the fish. And then I should have had this right in my hand or right next to me, but then I can quickly unhook the fish and get it right back in the water. That was cool. I was working the bait. This bait digs so hard. It's a 16-foot running bait on a long cast. Comes right up at your shoes, at the bottom of your shoes basically, and I was reeling it up, and whoom, the fish hit it right underneath the boat. So it paid off doing what we were doing there, going down this weed edge and just casting deep running crankbaits, and that's a beautiful little fish right there. All right, I'm up in the biggest of the weed flats on this lake. pretty much finishing up the day just to do something else kind of fun. Casting, I got a big fish on, I think. Maybe a muskie. Yeah, it's really strong. I can't keep him out of those weeds. I mean, I got my thumb pinned on the spool to try to slow down how much line he's taking out on me. Beautiful tiger muskie. Look at that fish, huh? That is a giant. I'm gonna very quickly get her unhooked. So how about this fish out of a Metro Lake? It's so heavy I can hardly hold it up. Go out, read the lake maps, understand where these fish are likely to be, and put in your time, and you'll get them. I'm Mark Strand, and we'll be right back with more Midwest Outdoors. Wow, huh?